So this is a new variety that I'm growing this year. It's called Paul Robeson. It's a purple or black tomato variety. But I just wanted to show, look at the cluster of flower shoots on this thing. There's got to be, on that one stem, at least 25 different flowers. Now, I seriously doubt that they're all going to put tomatoes on them, and if they did, I'd have to thin them anyway, but just an interesting variety. This is one of two different varieties that I am trying this year. The other one is red snapper. That tomato right there is a BHN 602, which is a hybrid variety that I grew for the first time last year. And it's a really strong plant. It stays fairly short and puts a lot of good tomatoes on it. Over here we have Cherokee Purple, and again, I tried that for the first time last year. We've got some tomatoes. I mean, these are the earliest big tomatoes I have. Let me just walk around here and show you this other variety that everybody knows about, Juliet, right? Juliet's a great cherry tomato or grape tomato. They're actually more like a Roma. They get pretty sizable, but this plant has plenty, you know, over 20 tomatoes on it already, and it's coming to the end of April now. And I'm trying to let them sprawl a little bit, but they get so gangly. I've had to trim quite a bit of stuff off of them. So there's a couple of rutabaga plants understoring here that are chugging along. I don't know how much longer I'm going to keep those going. And here's my onion plants, which are, I'm getting some actual onions this year, which haven't done very well with onions in the past. These aren't huge by any means, but they're still, the stems aren't bent over on them yet, although I've had to pick a couple of them. We had a hailstorm earlier in the year, so I had to buy some store-bought tomatoes. There's a Better Boy, your standard fare, which is, I've always loved those. They make great, big, huge, tasty tomatoes. And here's a Celebrity. Those are bought those at HEB Plus and Kyle. I've got one green cabbage still going here that's under these tomatoes, and the head's not firm yet. I picked one that was right here the other day, I think yesterday. These two plants here are volunteers, I assume, from tomatoes that fell off the plants that I had growing in this spot last year. And I can't really remember what they were. So they're just going to be tomatoes. I don't know what they are. This one here is another BHN 602, which is, some of my plants survived the hailstorm. This is one of them. This is a really nice looking plant. It's got lots of flowers on it. And this here is the new variety, the red snapper, that I'm trying. And I can tell by the blossoms on it that it's, you know, it's like an heirloom style. And you'll notice it has the potato leaves on it. Look how big the leaves are on this thing. And this is a cucumber, and I got mixed up on this, so I don't know if it's a pickle cucumber or it's either a pickle cucumber or a Marketmore 76. I planted two varieties of pickle cucumbers, and it's got some little cucumbers on it, so I'm thinking that's going to be a Marketmore, but we'll see. I'm trying this new trellis system this year. I like it so far. It's great if the deer don't get in here. And these are some shallots. I think that's what you call them. No, they're not shallots. They're those little pear-shaped onions that they always show in the cooking shows. That word escapes me for some reason. That's a cantaloupe plant. It just went in the ground yesterday. So I've got some open space here. This is where I had my carrots and some cauliflower and Brussels sprouts, which were a fail. Brussels sprouts didn't go good. Over here I've got a couple more onion plants. I've been kind of thinning these out as I go. These are still going, so we'll see how big they end up getting. And these are some more of those, I don't know why I can't remember what they call those. And they're fancy cooking onions. And these huge plants. These plants are huge. I had no idea they would get so big. Look at that snail off my potato plant. Take him a year to get back here. These are Romanesco broccoli. And as you can see, we had a little bit of caterpillar damage on them, but I sprayed them with Spinach and it seems to have straightened that out, or at least got them under control. This is the first one that's actually putting a head on it. And let me see, I don't know if I can get you to see that or not, but there it is right there. And I'm excited to see how that turns out. They're those ones with the geometric design, which is pretty cool. God knows math. There's a lone onion. This onion multiplied, which is weird. It was one onion when I planted it, and now it's 3. So I had a red onion do that too. That you might remember that from earlier in the video, the split red onion. And these are spinach plants that are going to seed. I had a patch of spinach in here, and I found out, I was looking at the plants, and it looked like I had 2 different kinds of plants in there, but I found out that spinach plants are dioecious, which I think that's how you say that, which means that they have male and female plants. And I picked all, they had already flowered, and I could see the seeds forming on the stems of the female plants, as you can see right there. So when the male plants fell over and looked like they were dying, I picked them and got them out of here. And these plants are, they're pretty robust. I could be eating spinach off those, but we've eaten a lot of spinach off these plants, and I'm just going to let them make their seeds because my seeds are old. And right in the middle of that, I interplanted a volunteer tomato plant that I took out of a different area of the garden. I have no idea what kind of tomato that is. And here's my sunflowers over here. A row of sunflowers. They have to fight the cutworms. That's why they have the little baskets underneath them to keep the cutworms from mowing them down. I've had to replant these like 3 or 4 times because the cutworms kept getting them. And there's some morning glories. Those are native to here. They pop up and they're pretty, so I let them go. In the tub here, I've got elephant garlic. There's Ginger. She's a good garden companion. She seems to be respectful of the plants. They don't try to walk in the beds or anything. And this is a huge bunch of cilantro plants that are going to seed too. They're pretty. It's good. I don't use that much cilantro, but it's easy to grow here. And also I have some beets interplanted in here. These are a long ways off from being ready. Over here, there's 3 plants there, here, and here, that are purple cone flowers. And those 2 plants are loofahs. And I'm gonna let them climb up the fence and go down the fences. They get huge, and they put these beautiful yellow blossoms on them that the bees love, and they're one of the few things that can withstand the extreme heat of Central Texas summers. So over here I have a cabbage plant. It looks like it got shotgunned, probably flea beetle damage. And hopefully that's going to make a cabbage before too long. It's going to get hot pretty soon. Let's look and see if Got any caterpillars on here? I don't see any. That spinosad stuff works really good, and it's safe for the garden. So, this is the tub that I just tore out of my bathroom. Well, just in January, I tore this out of my bathroom that I'm remodeling, and I planted potatoes in it. And these are just store-bought potatoes. They're Yukon Gold potatoes I bought at HEB. And I let them chit. I bought them like last November, and I let them sit in the closet and grow the, you know how potatoes sprout. So I planted them in here, and I've hilled them one time, but I can't really, you know, since they're in the tub, you can't really hill them anymore. They've fallen over, but they're still nice and green. And my understanding on growing potatoes is wait until the tops die back, and then that means it's time to pick them. So anyway, that's about it. There's one, oh yeah, there's one more red cabbage there. The red cabbage is having a bit of a hard time getting finished. Some chives, another cucumber plant. This is my parsley pot, a 30-gallon pot with parsley in it. I've had some black swallowtail butterfly larvae in there, but I think the birds know about them because I see them one day and then the next day I can't find them. This is what my watermelon hill. There's like 5 watermelon plants. These are sugar babies, which it produces a fairly small plant compared to most watermelons. I may thin these out. I'm just trying to see which plants are the healthiest, then I'll do that. And then there's some more potted plants over here. There's another volunteer tomato there. I have no idea what variety that is. And this is a watermelon radish plant that I'm letting go to seed so I can get some fresh seeds. I've never seen how they do this before, but there's some little pods. And I'm assuming that's where the seeds are, in there, because there's flowers all over this thing. And at the base of this, you can see the radish, which probably will be woody and inedible. There's a lady, I think that's a ladybug larva right there. And then here I have some jalapeno plants. These are ones that I started from seed. They're not looking that great. The leaves are curled up and stuff. I've got to get some spray on those. I don't know what's going on with those. Another jalapeno. This is one I bought at HEB, which is kind of looking a lot better than mine are. This is another volunteer tomato plant that's gotten very large and has flowers on it. Don't know what kind it is. This is a cantaloupe plant that went in yesterday. I planted my cantaloupes in different places to see where they'd be more or less successful. And here's some more volunteer tomato plants. I'm pretty sure that these are sun golds because of the shape of the plants. I remember the shape of the plants looked like this on my sun golds last year. So I've got 3 volunteer plants here growing near my compost pile, and some what looks like are going to be some nice sunflower plants. And one other thing, and then I'll end the video, is this. This is the 3rd cantaloupe plant here. And I had a cantaloupe volunteer come in. It's underneath these tomato plants. There it is right there. That's a cantaloupe plant. That's actually the biggest one I have. And it just came up in this bed, so I let it go. I'm going to string it up to this trellis and grow them upright. See how they do. You can see my mustard over there. It's finishing up. The one on the end's bolting. And I've been eating a lot of mustard greens. They're good. Put them in a salad with the lettuce. Adds a little tang. Not very good cooked. They're a little bit bitter for me cooked. And then there's 3 really big elephant garlic plants right there. I chopped the scape off of one of them yesterday and ate it in my salad. So this has been a really long video. I'm going to stop it now. Thanks for watching.